wrapping it up there with a little river band and cool change. And we're coming in just a little bit early here at 9:18 because we have company. Yes, we have a Great Basin Team 2 is transitioning in while Team 5 transitions out, and so they're coordinating with each other today to nail it down. And in the station today we have David Grubich. He is the Public Information Officer. I hope I'm saying your name properly.
Yes, ma'am, you nailed it.
Okay. How did I go? Okay, I'm sorry. There, now you're on. So David's going to take it from here. He's going to give us an update on the fire, or hopefully lack of, and then take you through their new coordinated duties.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, good morning. And some of the things I'd like to cover, that we are from the Great Basin Team 2, so there is a transitional period. One of the biggest things that we're going to experience out of this is that we're assuming some more duties. So it's no longer joined, it's going to be the Middle Fort complex still, but now we're also assuming the snag fire and the goat fires, which are above us. So we'll have a little acreage changes, but there hasn't been anything thanks to this rain. But with assuming the new duties, though, we do have a total acreage increase. So it's going to be 119,238 acres. But remember, that's a combination between 3 fires now. So we've got all that together. And there's 1,066 personnel assigned. So we can break that down individually, but that's one of the biggest changes. But none of those fires have moved overnight, so there is no change in their acreage sizes for the individual ones.
Great.
Part of that too is we have another one. So we have a command post set up here in Garden Valley, and then we have another one that's a Cascade Spike, and it's going to be up there above the snag fire. So that's to help us with that and divide and conquer and manage these fires. Now, the one thing that we have got that was probably the best news we're going to be able to put on the radio today about this is the rain that we've been experiencing lately.
Yay.
Yesterday we got 6 hours of nice slowing rain, so we got between 1/4 of an inch and an inch on someplace on this fire. And one of the biggest things about it is it's basically slowed it down. It gives us time to work. It gets us in there so we can get closer to the fire. It also gives us the benefit of dealing with what we call ERCs. It's in the layman's terms, it's the energy release component. It's a historical thing about the relationship between fine dead fuel moisture content and live fuel curing over a 7-day period. And right now, one of the unique things that we're experiencing is we've got record lows in the ERCs, which is great, because what that means in layman's terms is it's not going to burn.
Yay.
So that's one of those things that we want to do. It really helps us. So when we're talking about the fuels, which the down trees on the ground, the things that are currently being burning, the big stuff, it's getting down. And that's one of these things where we look forward in the fire world. It's getting closer to being a season-ending event for us. But with that, it's still going. So we know it's going to dry out. The rain gives us this 2 or 3 day pause, so we can get in there and get the mastication crews in there. They're opening up some of the lines, getting things cleaned up, making some of the roads more traversable up there, and getting it taken care of, and basically securing this fire. So we're going to have a good 3 days of putting some hard work in, and then of course that drying trend is going to come back to us. And with that, we'll see, expect to see a column here, a column there, but hopefully not see any large developments from that point. So we're hoping that, it's going to give us that momentary pause to get in there and get things done.
If I can interrupt you just 1 second, a mastication crew, can you?
Mastication crews, it's a big mulcher. So what they do is, like the branches and stuff, the things that we've cut down to clear things, to clear it out to where the fire has nothing to basically eat.
Mm-hmm.
We throw that in the machine and grind it up. And then it basically breaks down, helps Mother Nature out in that process, so it's not big. It makes big things small.
So like a wood chipper.
Yes, wood chipper.
Okay, all right, thank you. Carry on, sorry about that.
Oh yeah, no, not a problem. It's getting things. We love our acronyms in firefighting, so it's like sometimes we got to take a second and then explain it.
Right, thank you. Okay.
One of the other things we'd like to cover is just with these fires. Another thing that's aiding us is the fires from the past, the Pioneer and the Cascade fires, for instance. Those are old burn scars, and what happens is those fuels burn up in it, which we call the logs down, things like that. And with that reducing the fuel loading in there, it gives us a place where the fire doesn't want to go. So now, right now with these fires, they're currently burning in between some old burn scars, which is helping keep things in place where it's at right now.
Okay, well, if anything good was to come of the Pioneer and the Rattlesnake fires, I guess that would be it, right?
Yeah, so even though they look horrible and it's a horrible burn scar, it's
It
going to
is
heal
ugly.
over time. But no, the benefit of that is too, it's no, it helps us in these fires now. But then
Sure.
also, no, we got to remember that fire is something that's natural. It occurs in Mother Nature.
Yes, it
It's
does.
also necessary
It is
for the
necessary.
environment. Now, we may not like it, but it's one of those things that no, it's supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I know over time we've gotten so good at fighting fires. So what's happened is it was bad for Mother Nature because then you get extra fuel loading, and now when you do get a fire in there that's supposed to be there, you have devastation that occurs because the flames are now hotter, the flames are now bigger, and it doesn't do what we want it to do. Another benefit of this wedding rain that we have in these lower ERCs is that you get these mosaic burns, and they are just wonderful. They're absolutely ideal for the environment. One thing that's beneficial to it is the wildlife. So it's not total devastation in there. The wildlife likes to get back in the fire, and we got to remember they were here dealing with fire long before we were, so they have a tendency to know what to do, and they know what's coming, and they get out of there.
Cows don't know. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But when you say mosaic burn, what do you mean by that?
Mosaic burn is where it burns a little bit here, a little bit there, like kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. So it's not that thing where you look at it and it's like just driving past the Pioneer fire yesterday. It's just like, wow, there's a lot of standing dead trees to snags that are all burnt up, and you just got that ground cover that's still recovering, well, almost a decade later.
Yeah, it's sad.
And then the mosaic burn, you leave the living trees, so the trees get to stay behind. You burn some of the grass, you burn some of the shrubs, the lower things to the ground, you
I
open
see.
those up, and then that basically goes back into Mother Nature and helps nurture those trees too. So it's reducing what we call the fuel loading. The fuel loading is how many tons of fuel per acre. And by reducing that, you're going to reduce the fire's behavior, so it won't have as much to eat and as much to get big and grow and do destructive things. And that mosaic burn is just ideal. So like the biologists and everyone else, they love it. So the people around here, it's like that's what was supposed to happen. So it cleans it up for Mother Nature and takes care of it, and it actually makes it a little bit safer.
Yeah, I could agree on that. Do you think, and just in your opinion, that a cutback or reduction in logging contributes to how quickly the fire moves? I know it's a human kind of intervention, but it helps us too, so I'm not sure.
Anytime that man intervenes with Mother Nature, we do change things. And then, like I said, when we talk about fuel loading, that changes fuel loading. So sometimes in there, and it just depends. It's one of those things that if we're respectable and responsible with what we do, then we leave a better product behind. So we're supposed to be leaving it to where it should be that way. Now then, if we go in there and it's clear cut, now that's another thing where there's nothing left, and then you just got to plant it back and get it where it's supposed to be. So yes, it does change things.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Okay, and so moving forward, it's a whole plan change now, considering the rain that we've had. So now you're probably moving away from the firefighting or containing it, and closer to cleaning it up and.
It's multifaceted at the moment. Right now, because we have this, I'd like to call it an operational pause. Since we've got Mother Nature helping us at the moment, and we've got things where we're not on the line doing what we call initial attack, where we're not directly fighting the fire, trying to hold it right here today to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. We are still doing that, but we are actually preparing for what the fire can present. And then we're getting into places where we clean it up, and then when we see that fire map, that black line is what we'd love to see, because that's where we've established it and it's held. When we have these operational pauses like this, we can get in there and get more black line on that map, so there's less chance of that fire actually moving through that. So it does give us that chance to be able to get in there and work.
Okay, so, and I understand how hard everybody does work, and you're talking about 12 or more hours a day, 10, 12, 8, guesstimate?
Yes. We average those 15, 16-hour days sometimes, and a lot of that, remember with these crews out there, they're out there really working hard to get this done.
I know
They'll be here for a 14-day rotation or 21 days working on that fire. And sometimes, like with this, it gives them a chance to like slow down and get things where it's not that fast paced. I got to get it stopped now.
How about,
kind of thing going
time
on.
for a nap, I would think, but that's just me. So
Yeah, and it's also,
you can't go at that pace for that. That's why you only have 2-week periods, right?
and remember, this is late season too, so this is gearing towards the end of the season. So a lot of these crews have been on 3, 4, 5 fires before that. So, and then
Right.
working those long hours and getting that in, they do put in some hard work on the line. My heart goes out from 'em. I've been out there and seen it, and it's like they've gone places where I was like, that's where a billy goat went. I'm
Right.
like not trying to do that myself.
Right, yes, we have a son in CAL FIRE, so I'm familiar. Um, Don't send any more pictures. So, and from here, what are your plans today? This is your first day here in Garden Valley, or you came in yesterday, or?
Came in yesterday,
Okay.
part of the transition, and today's our first operational day where we've, Great Basin Team 2 has assumed it, and from the leadership role, from Tony taking it down to us to Kevin in the public information shop. We're in the process of getting things changed into the new team and just continuing what we have. So it's just a paperwork thing, basically. It's still the same thing. We're here to put the fire out and get it secured.
Okay, and so you have a, like for like, so say there's 15 members on a team, you come in with your 15 and
That's
roles are assumed.
That's exactly how it works.
Duplicated,
So,
okay.
no, these were the goals that we were trying to assume. Those move forward with the new team, and then we're still working on that. The only thing may change, they may have a different aspect or a different idea of how they're going to approach it. And then things that we have to account for is like, they took over the team, picked up 2 additional fires, all the resources associated with that. So their command element has grown, trying to encompass all that, and then the resources, and then centralizing it and condensing it. Because overall, it's all about a dollar figure too, and what can we do to get this thing done?
Okay, and is that that's not part of your duties, right? Is considering that? Oh. Okay. So, we're being told that there's a community meeting. That's tonight, right? 6 o'clock?
Yes, yeah, we wanted to make sure that we got the community meeting down tonight. It's gonna be, same location as it was in the past.
Okay.
It'll be tonight at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And you're gonna meet the new IC, the new public information officers. We'll all be there for that meeting.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, was that hinting to wrap it up? I don't wanna, take up your time, though.
No, that's perfectly, yeah, you get me
Okay.
talking, I will talk all day.
Fair enough. Okay, and so from today, now they're transitioning, and they will leave by this evening, or you spend today and the evening, and then they leave tomorrow, and you assume duties tomorrow, or you take over kinda
We
tonight?
took over today,
Okay,
so it's the new team.
okay, so we'll see new faces,
Yes, ma'am.
same outfits.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, to put it in girl terms. Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome, and we're glad you're here. If there's anything we can do to make your stay more comfortable, okay, now I sound like a Hilton hotel or something, but.
Well, you'll see us out there. We'll still be working our trap line, so you'll get to meet a lot of us, and we love to talk. So we'll get out there. So please say hi, and we'll return it and update you as best we can.
Of course we will. We're a friendly community. Yes, and again, we're glad you're here. Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in. And we'll see you around. It's a small town.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take care of yourself and be safe above all. All right.